not going to have the chance to do that, and he promised me that he's going to play Soraka. He hovered over it in the last game, but went with a Morgana, which fit their style so well. I say their style fit exactly what WE were throwing at them. Vi had literally no impact because of that Morgana coming in. In the end, final ban coming out here for TPA. Lulu, I think a good ban overall against Gambit. Alex, solid with that champion.
It's one of his favorite champions in that mid lane currently. Gambit, renowned for only playing the OP champs. As it is, they consider Lulu OP. Evelyn is available. They did play it against TPA the other day. Won't be the first pick though. I'm wondering if Elise is out there as well, is a top contested pick, but surely the focus may be on them top laners. The Shyvana is out there, maybe Mundo. With Renekton banned and Aatrox banned out, I'm wondering which way Darien's going to go. Is it going to be the Warwick again?
We can only hope, can't we? No celebration of Warwick was banned against. Actually, first pick coming in here is going to be Lee Sin for Diamond there in the jungle.
Happy with that one. We saw it was Achie that actually played it, I believe, against them, wasn't it?
Yeah,
played that Lee Sin, top lane Lee Sin. I'm trying to think back whether it was them. It was them, yes, it was.
Them. They've only played against them.
It was Achie that played. And it's Achie, by the way. It says Achie, but it's pronounced Achie. I've been told, I've been informed by the Taiwanese community, this is the way to pronounce it. Siva, though, going to be locked in. That's going to be for Bebe. Bebe, the only remaining Season 2 World Champion in the TPA lineup.
Which is sad, just going back to the Achie Achie thing, because Achy Breaky Heart was going to come out in this game at some point.
No,
it may not. No, it's not going to come out, sadly enough. But Siva is going to be hovered over here for Bebe, and as you rightly pointed out, Season 2 World Champion.
Yeah, and they beat
the only one though.
They beat Gambit on the way to that in that semi-finals, and Evelyn was a big part of that. It was actually Alexis that played it in the mid lane in the first game. I remember we sat there. Sadly, Joe, you were not there, and this is a sore point. Trust me. Trust me. It was a great game nonetheless, but I feel that Gambit really just kind of threw it away. They were kind of caught by surprise, and which is exactly like they were in the opening group stage, completely caught by surprise by TPA. Yeah. And I'm wondering, can TPA do it again? Have they pulled the wool over the Gambit's eyes too many times? Or Gambit, I feel, are going to come into this one with a bit of a renewed aggression.
The thing is, I just don't really understand Gambit, because when it comes to, LCS is one day all or nothing, but when it comes to tournaments like Intel Extreme Masters, I don't understand this whole rubbish on day one but brilliant on the rest of the days thing. I don't know where that mentality
it happens
comes
in so
from.
many games. It's not just League of Legends. Like tournaments across the years, going way back to CPL. This has happened non-stop. Group stage is terrible. They managed to somehow lumber the way through the groups and then come through the lower bracket to victory. Can Gambit do it? Who knows? We do see LeBlanc on Alexis. That may well get countered. Not so much a counter, but we've seen this already. We've seen it in the European LCS, and talking to Froggen, a lot of mid laners do consider this a counter. If LeBlanc doesn't get those kills early on, Zed generally can turn it around pretty heavily on LeBlanc.
And this is actually a pretty scary lineup from TPA. We're going to see possibly Zed and Jax. Jax, we all know what later it goes, the more satisfying those sounds are when he's thrashing away on turrets and thrashing away on champions as well, which is maybe even more important. We will see Zed and Jax, in fact, locked in there. What are we going to see from Gambit, though? We're looking for a bottom lane here. We can only hope Soraka, because that would just be amazing. But
it's got to be Morgana. I mean, Morgana's been left open again and has worked. It worked for Fnatic. It worked for Gambit in the last game. Both Chinese teams now out. These are teams that refuse to think Morgana is a serious problem. TPA have not banned it. I'm pretty sure we're going to see another Morgana from Edward.
Well, he's hovering over Kennen, which would be like, what? Oh, Kennen? Except when he's played it. We've not been quite that convinced with Kennen, apart from the one game.
He won that one duel.
He did out-duel the AD carry as a support Kennen that one time once. He's also, by the way, I just noticed, got glasses without arms on them. I'm guessing they broke yesterday after the game.
The left arm, yeah.
After the TPA game, he obviously just snapped that off and
Sona
like,
is locked in.
Cool.
This is going back to traditional Gambit. This is what every support, you think of Voidal and Darker when they came in as support, when Edward went back on his pilgrimage to North America. All they could play was Sona. That's all they were allowed to play by the Gambit team. Edward back on Sona. This is a champion he's played so many times, and that crescendo could be crucial to this lineup when the Jax jumps in, when the Zed jumps in. Crescendo across him. I mean, Evelyn, Jax, and Zed all have to be in melee range, and that crescendo could work well.
Yep, and we know that Edward can hit those crescendos as well. On the other side, TPA finishing off their lineup with the Leona support locked in. So Siva Leona versus Lucian Sona is going to be the bottom lane matchup for this one. Top lane, Darien versus Achie, Achie, Breaky Heart, and all that kind of things. With that Jax, I'm interested to see how this one goes, because the longer this game goes on, the more dangerous that Jax becomes.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the two team comps and thinking in the minds of our analysts, guys, and seeing the differences. Leona, if he lands that solar flare in a good way, somebody is going to die because they're all going to pile in. But look at the mobility that Gambit have. The Shyvana, he can jump across with his ultimate. Lee Sin, he can go anywhere and it's on diamond procs. LeBlanc, he can pop anywhere as well. And of course, Lucian has that escape ability. Sona's the only one that's not really mobile, but can speed the entire team up. Of course, on the other side, you got On the Hunt from Siva. So they're going to be piling in. Very much going to be a fast-paced game, I feel, this one. And Gambit, they cannot afford to lose it in the early game like they did in the last two matches. That against TPA, destroyed last time around. Against WE, well, WE proved that their dive comps do work, but they don't transition so well.
Don't transition too well, but that is for me, the weakness of Gambit right now. The early game has not been strong for them in quite a while. The question is, can they change that one around here? Because we saw last time around that TPA, when they got rolling in that early game, really transitioned it in towards the late game and won very quickly. But we are in game, Gambit versus TPA for the second spot into the playoffs here from Group B.
Yeah, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. Semi-finals await the winner of this game. KT rolls to B, await the winner of this game. It is a big one. And, well, the crowd, we already heard it, how much they are behind Gambit. Gambit know that. Gambit have been victorious here before. Can they do it again? They came through the lower bracket all the way through, beating Korean teams, which do, of course, await them. And KT rolls to B, you know, they're coming into this one. They've got something to prove themselves because they've actually not been performing very well in the Korean scene and have prepared so heavily for this tournament. You got to feel they are now the favourites. So whoever wins this probably is going to come up against the favourites. North America may argue Cloud9 are the favourites now after their great performance yesterday, but I'm pretty sure most would agree KT rolls to beat do stand in the way. But as it stands, 0 aggression in the first opening level 1. Doesn't look like we're going to see any late invades. We have seen a couple things starting off. We saw WE going crazy last time. 5-man, they were just walking around the jungle, didn't care who the hell they met in their way. Gambit themselves, kind of a lot more passive and stick to the European style.
Yeah, and for me, TPA as well, when we're talking about form here, if you look at their results in the GPL, they're on a tear at the moment. They are looking so good, and that's the thing that we didn't quite know about TPA coming into this one. Although they're doing well in their home scene, how is that going to transition into games against the European sides, against the American sides, against the other Asian teams coming in from this one? And, you know, they've had a good game. They destroyed Gambit, but then they got destroyed against Cloud9. Two very different performances.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting point in itself, because that's the first defeat they've probably had in a couple of months, because they are 10-0 up in GPL. That's the first defeat. Oh dear, Genja almost face checking in there. Didn't want to do a double lift. Instead, steps away just towards the end there. Going back to season 1 there, ladies and gentlemen. If nobody's aware of that face check it out. I'm sure it's on a VOD somewhere.
Good DinTer here, actually coming in towards this mid lane. They're going to put a lot of aggression down on towards Alexic. Actually is forced to flash away. That is very early. Well, it couldn't be earlier. Still level 1 there is Alexic. That's going to give Morning a bit of free time, and we know how aggressive Morning is. You can see that he's already used his Ignite from that one, and he's going to continue to harass Alexic down.
You also see Leona looking to try and create something. Level 2 will get hit first by TPA. There it is. Jay's ready and waiting to dive in. Genja playing this one very safe and secure. We kind of expect this one though, because Leona Siva, it's a nasty combo. If they does manage to land that Zenith Blade, which we just saw in the previous game, how crucial those Zenith Blades can be, he will certainly jump on them. And Sona's so squishy. Look at this top lane though. This is an aggressive one, and actually I think fairly even, but Diamond's coming round.
Here comes Lee Sin, and Archie's going to be in all kinds of trouble. The Q lads, Diamond comes in. First one going to Gambit, meanwhile down in the bottom lane. A big exchange as well. Edward getting ignited there by Jay. No kills though.
No kills, and that is a good turn for the top lane. And we saw, we know what Darien's like. He either feeds and Cal carries. And at the moment, this could be good signs. If Diamond is getting the help on the top there, they need to sit on him, but DinTer is lying in wait. Edward's going to get caught out with the Zenith Blade. He's going to go down. Bebe picks up the kill, but a revenge kill from Genja. Uses the barrier and almost got caught out by Bebe.
That was pretty intense down the bottom lane. Yes, we do see Edward ending up dying, but the kill for Genja coming in there. Luckily for TPA, I say luckily, but calculated, we can maybe say Bebe did get that kill there for TPA as well. So he's at least going to have that extra bit of gold. And right now he's farming up a bit of a storm in these early stages here up against Genja. Meanwhile, mid lane, Achie already uses flash, but here comes Diamond once again. Not sure they're going to be able to get in to do any real damage on towards Morning, but nonetheless, showing that his presence is needed in mid.
Yeah, I think Alex trying to bait Morning to go a little bit aggressive. Diamond was waiting in the wings when there's double bar fire. Bebe going to get caught out with some aggression of Genja. Unusual. You don't normally see that, but he's going to keep on pressing forward. Edward back in that lane. Got himself the Spell Thief's Edge now along with that Ruby Crystal, so he's going to be fairly strong and looking to go aggressive. Meanwhile, we see the Targons being picked up, the Relic Shield being picked up by Jay.
Kind of opposite openings, but in the end going for those GP10 items with their first pickup there. We do see, as you said, these Spell Thieves coming straight out there for Edward, as he did die a little bit earlier on. Got the assist in the end though, so got a bit of extra gold from that one. TPA keeping up this aggression on that bottom lane, and that seems to be the key to beating Gambit, is to have a very strong early game, to be aggressive, to throw them off their game.
Well, the aggression is going to continue, and Darien actually doing a grand job in this top lane of really bullying out Achie. We do see DinTer just hanging off the side of the screen there. He is going to come on side, and he's going to be careful he doesn't get caught out, Darien. We know he does sometimes push too far, but Lee Sin. No, I was going to say, are we going to see a level 5 Lee Sin Dragon here? We did see a level 6 Vi Dragon, which was very impressive in the last game.
Yeah, very early in that last one. We'll see. I mean, Gambit love, or they have loved I can't really remember the last time they were going for that one. DinTer actually is going to come across, finds his wolf camp, will be already got a ward there though, which is more impressive, and that's going to give them position as Diamond comes across the side. Can they catch out Morning? Flash in there from, oh no, they've not followed it through. Gambit don't follow through the damage onto Morning. So very close. Meanwhile in the bottom lane, we're seeing a trade going off as well. Action-packed here in the first 6 minutes.
And Diamond's so close to hitting level 6 there. If he had that level 6, he would have been able to land that kick. Thrown him back in. Look down the bottom lane, though. Going back on towards Jay. Jay getting caught low there. And we do see Bebe trying to counter back on towards that. DinTer, meanwhile, in that mid lane was keeping them at bay. He's going on a counter jungle of his own. And they've got to be careful he doesn't rotate to this bottom lane.
See if he comes down there, doing the raids right now. Bebe actually going pretty low. He's gone in tower range there though, Jay. That needs to be very carefully monitored, and in the end, we see Genja super low with the Ignite on him. Can't actually stick around, but now we see DinTer coming down. This is where Gambit could be in danger.
They're in danger, and they've got a giant wave of siege minion there. DinTer's going to come around. It could be an easy hit, but Genja's already fed up quite a bit of that health, because Edward, of course, can top it off. And look at that. The aggression, they turn around, they fake it out. They just forcefully, Edward getting in their faces, make something. Is Lee Sin nearby? No, he's not. He's in the top lane, and Archie's about to fight the two of them. Now they realize, damn, we got completely fooled by Edward.
Oh, Morning again getting stunned up here, and we see that Alex actually starting to back off. We do see that both of them are now level 6, so Deathmark is in there. Achie, though, with that silence, could cause a few problems for Morning going in.
Great counterplay there. Diamond coming in, taking away the red buff. They knew that DinTer was down that bottom lane. He is actually heading straight down here, as is Achie. He's keeping off the mid lane. They know that he's nearby. And look, let's keep an eye on Diamond's path. And DinTer realizes it's too risky to go for that red. The counter was good from Diamond.
Very well played there by Gambit. Alex getting back into the farming swing in that mid lane. Actually, he's a few CS behind at this point, but double Doran's ring in there for him compared to that Vamp Scepter Doran Shield longsword that we see now for Morning. And there is that red buff now secured by Diamond. Not going to be stolen away.
Interested to see how TPA deal with this one. We saw against Cloud9 yesterday when they started to not have full control of their lanes, which I feel probably in the Taipei region, in the Garena Premier League, they probably dominate the lanes, which they did against Gambit, and they knew how to snowball it. Against Cloud9, they had no idea what to do once they didn't lose the lanes.
No.
I'm wondering if that's going to fall this way, because look at this top lane. Darien is winning out against Achie. Achie on Jax, everybody knows Jax becomes a beast late game. Will it get there? Will it get that far? Because Gambit are looking good in the lane phase for once.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, you've got Lee Sin with that early to mid-game power. You've got LeBlanc, who, when he gets rolling, is going to be doing some great plays and picking people out. We know how he is. Shyvana for Darien, the later it gets, the stronger he gets technically. We are actually seeing Zed roaming down in towards this bottom lane. The question is, will he actually get anything? And we can see that he just shadows over the wall. Morning realizing he's not getting anything.
Yeah, they actually spotted it out. So learning from their previous game against WE, taking note of the mini-map and actually giving prior warnings to your lanes. And it was Alexic saying, my mid laner is no longer here. Darien actually taking low. He's going to have to use that ultimate. Oh, good vision from Achie. Flash there from Darien. That's going to be Achie with a kill.
Yeah, Darien simply just caught out of position. Just looks at the player camera there. Darien's like scratching his head like, yeah, kind of failed flash that one in front of quite a few people here in the audience. Everyone saw that one.
Something we didn't actually touch on. Achie has Ghost instead of Flash. Didn't go with it. So if he had Flash through, he would have got away, but that failed Flash cost him his life.
Cost him his life, and that brings us to 2-2. Gambit slightly ahead here in gold, just a couple of hundred, mainly due to how well they're doing here in these lanes. As we are going to see an all-in on towards Genja and Edward, but there is a crescendo coming down. Genja's ultimate not going to be good, but he's got the damage here to go on towards Jay. Diamond's coming from the side, but he was spotted, and we already see Evelyn moving around for the counter gang.
Yeah, that was an all-in from Jay. They wanted to try and go for it mid lane now. We see Alexic, ultimate is on him, and that's going to pour him low. They really want to keep the pressure onto a Gambit. They wanted to go for that dragon, but it has not worked out. So what will TPA do now?
The thing is, Diamond is playing this so well, being so very aggressive. Not worried about the sneaky side of things as DinTer comes down. Edward not going to escape this one. Bebe takes a kill. Genja does get behind the turret, but that gives TPA the leading kill, 3-2 now after 10.5 minutes.
That's the pressure they were after. Now they're turning. You can see everybody's coming back from the fountain. They want to go for the dragon. Gambit are going to have to either try and smite steal this one or simply try and poke them. They're not going to be able to fight for it. They're down on numbers. Top laners, they're not going to get involved in this one. No gates, no teleport, sorry, for either of them. It is going to be simply a 4v4, but it seems the bottom tower is the interest for Bebe.
Yeah, doing some good damage to that one as well. Less than half HP remains on that one. We are going to see Diamond coming around to try and cover that one off. Not sure exactly how much kill potential they're going to have down in that bottom lane. Morning and Alexic going head-to-head. Sun going to land. Can Alexic finish off? Does he have the damage in there? Not quite.
Not quite, but it was close. That's for sure. Diamond was coming round. He wants to try and help him out. Wanted to try and get there. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. He wants to help out the bottom lane. He's coming down there. He will get spotted out by the water. Think a dragon. Yeah, you can see TPA going to back away from that one. And that means Diamond, well, he doesn't have a pink ward, but he does not, actually doesn't have no vision. Wait a minute. Edwards picked up the scrying orb. I just noticed that one. We'll see how that one plays into account. Not really seen it used heavily, but clearly wants to get some vision. Gambit going to take this dragon away. They're going to heal out there, and it was picked up by Diamond.
Really nicely done there, pushing out that bottom lane. Just the presence of Diamond forcing TPA to back up. Oh, Alexic, they're trying to recall Jay. Feeling a little bit confident, decided to go in there with a Zenith Blade, pulled away. Let's have a look at some of the items here from this one. Top lane, we're going to be seeing Darien headed straight up to that Sunfire Cape. Other side, Jack's working his way in towards that Blade of the Ruin King. Meanwhile, Zed is moving down towards this bottom lane. Are they going to get the damage down? Edward caught here by the Solar Flare. They're going to go straight on. That's a great crescendo onto Morning, but Edward is dangerously low. There is the death mark, and there is the kill for Morning, but he's surely going to fall. Diamond coming across. Genja getting good damage down. They have to block the Q here. Actually, the turnaround. Morning going back in. The kick on towards Jay, and I'm not sure that Gambit have got the damage here, but have they? Alex comes around the side. That's another kill. He needs his cooldowns back here. Baby using his spell shield. That's a lot of damage coming in. Q misses from Lee Sin. Doesn't matter because we do see the kill coming down for Alexic. Meanwhile, Darien is just jumping around in the top lane, trying to get away.
This time he did get into the Baron pit. But wow, Gambit countering that one. They lost Edward in the fight, but they managed to get themselves 3 kills in that bottom lane, and it's starting to get Alexic going. He's up 2-0 now. Genja's at 2-0-2. We saw what Genja can do when he gets going. This could start being a problem for TPA.
I think so as well. The one saving grace that they've got is Achie there, 110 CS, level 10, on his way to that Blade of the Ruin King, that signature Jax horrible sound if you're Gambit right now, but a brilliant sound if you're a TPA fan. He's just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing out, and we'll see actually how Darien can handle him. I think Darien's really only been in danger when he's been visited in that top lane, or got a little bit maybe too overconfident in terms of positioning. Had to flash, or had to try and flash over the Baron wall when he died earlier on. Got away with his ultimate last time. Needs to be careful up there because you don't want to give Jax those kills.
No, absolutely, but you know, you start looking to out of the lane phase now, which is starting to slowly develop. Gambit have that gold advantage. It's a 2,000, 3,000 gold advantage, and against literally a fully stacked armor team. I mean, of course, Evelyn does do a little bit of magic damage, but outside of that, there's not a great deal there. So you're going to see Darien and Diamond start stacking out that armor, and Achie is just going to try and pop someone. So they have to start getting worried about that magic resist. As of yet, nobody is going towards it. They're all going towards Blade of the Rune Kings. They are stacking these things out. You can see it. It's already on Bebe. It's going to be on Morning, and Achie is already on the way to it. So they're going full attack damage, full squishy against the LeBlanc. This could be juicy time for Alex.
And one thing that Morning has against him here, that he's got to go basically all in to defend his turrets. I mean, he can put down some damage. We see Alex diving once again. Only got a Fiendish Codex plus those Sorcerer's Shoes right now. He's going to be headed back. We'll see how much gold he actually has. He got 1,700 gold, so he's actually going to be able to pick himself up that needlessly large rod in there as well the next time that he does decide to go home. Obviously working himself up towards that DFG, which Morning has to be very careful of. There's a pink wall that's going to spot out Gambit as they do go in. Diamond not going to get a look in this time. DinTer actually coming down to this bottom lane though, just in case.
Yeah, he needs to get down here and defend it because they're going to three-man push on towards his tower. DinTer's going to try and flank around. This is going to be aggressive style. Edward gets caught out here. Has got the crescendo. He doesn't need it yet. The kick was used. There's the crescendo. DinTer caught out. He goes down. Jay going to get focused on now. Bebe's in all sorts of trouble. He has to back away. Achie is coming down the river. He has the ability to just pop someone on this tower, and that is going to be TPA. They have to back away from the tower.
Yeah, I can't see how they can stick around from this one. This may be the solution to that one, though. Morning coming down. Deathmark is available for him, but we can see that Gambit already started to back away. Alex is actually on top of a ward right now, so Taipei Assassins know exactly where Alex is waiting. 2-0-0 Blanc, not to be messed around with. You don't want to give him any more.
While that was all happening, Darien and Achie both moved down to the mid lane, and actually Darien is starting to lose out that mid lane battle. You can see the Blade of the Rune King was used out by Achie there. He's only really a tank at the moment, so he hasn't really got a great deal of damage. Hasn't gone to anything because now he's building the team out. The team out will be coming out shortly from Darien. We'll see how that works out, but in a straight-up duel, he's not going to be able to deal with Achie, so he's simply running interference right now.
Oh, Alex going very low in that mid lane. Actually, Deathmark is going to be used. A stun comes in. Not quite got the damage there to finish him off, but Achie did come down. Alex using his passive there just to walk in. Face checks that bush. Achie will take that one down, but Alex staying safe from that one. Meanwhile, Diamond coming across the side. He's going to kick Achie away.
I don't think so, Diamond says. Punts him back over the river. It doesn't stand for it. Diamond, you know, we haven't really mentioned what he's been doing, the effect he's been having at 1-0-3. Oh, Bebe taken low from Genja there. Genja quick to react on that Zenith Blade of Jay, quickly dodging away from this one. This bottom lane is working so well for Gambit right now.
Yeah, currently 119 to 128 CS. Bebe having that advantage on that one. We can see though 2-0-3 is the important stats. Genja, last game against WE, had an absolute beast of a time, to be honest, on Varus, a champion which we only really see from Genja. There's not many other people out there that are playing that Varus, and we'll see if we can get up to that one. Meanwhile, he's being chased down in that bottom lane. He's going to get underneath the turret, use a flash, solar flare, will actually miss, pushes a bit of damage back, and now Alex is coming down, calling his use. Jay in a lot of trouble here. Can he get away from it? Flash comes in, Diamond's coming around, Bebe is there. DinTer is taking so much damage, kick back in there, and that is a kill for another kill for Alex Hitch.
Why did DinTer stick around? He had no money, he had nothing. He was literally doing melee attacks, which was not going to work when you're in a 3v1 situation. The rest of his team were backing away. DinTer just ran back in there. Morning is putting pressure on this middle turret, as is Achie. Darien has to be careful here. This is what's happening. Gambit are chasing kills, while they're defending kills. Every time they do it, Azubu TPA do manage to get themselves a tower. They could push that mid lane, but instead, losing Dragon again. Gambit had the timer in this one. TPA not even close to competing. This is going to be a 4,000 gold advantage for Gambit.
Good pick up there from Gambit, just exerting that pressure and knowing that they've got an easy time on that bottom lane. Meanwhile, they are going to move it towards the mid lane now. Morning, you can see, just dashing away from things, doesn't want to get involved with both Darien and Achie. And Achie especially, who's now 3-0-0. Got himself that needed large rod in there, got 1,000 gold to spend, and as I say that, he's already gone back and picked up the Death Fire Grass. So that basically means he can kill literally anyone on this Azubu team instantly.
And that is going to be scary for possibly Morning. Morning's about to take this tower down. It's a good move, and TPA are in the lead in towers. And this bottom lane is actually fairly well exposed as well. It's only really Edward down there, and he's going to have a hard job keeping Bebe away, but he's doing a good enough job at the moment. He's got a lot of distance for traveling for Genja. That turret's going to go down. That's 3-1 turret advantage for TPA.
Yeah, and not exactly the best thing that Gambit were really looking for from that one. Not able to defend that one out whatsoever. Darien, though, is being Darien. This is what he likes to do best. Have a bit of a roam around. We can see that DinTer comes down. Actually does manage to get that big Wraith out there, so a little bit of a victory for him on that one. Can't do that much damage, and we are going to see them going in towards Morning, but the mobility of Zed able to get him out to safety.
Yeah, that Living Shadow almost certainly required. Pink Ward being put down by TPA, but again, they realize they're too late to the party. Dragon's gone at least a minute ago for Gambit. And what are Gambit going to do now? Because TPA are starting to look to roam. They want to start grouping up. And Gambit are kind of doing it. Darien's coming in. He's being that menace that he needs to be on Shyvana, but he's leaving Achie to focus in the top lane. Jay's going to get caught out. Diamond can't get the other side of him. He got stunned, locked up there. Solar Flare comes down. Jay's going to get taken down. We do see Morning going all in on that towards Achie. The ultimate will not take enough damage down. The Ignite is running, and they counter it so well. Counter one another so well. Morning gets away so quickly.
Quite confusing to watch Zed and LeBlanc, because you never quite know where they're going to end up. We see them both going off to their previous locations, staying safe. Morning managing to not get the kill onto Achie, but staying alive despite that massive Gambit presence that came out. The crescendo, as you mentioned, didn't quite land onto them. So let's take stock here and have a look at exactly where this game lies. 21 minutes in, 32,000 to a 30,000 lead for Gambit right now. So looking solid, but this is still definitely nowhere near over. I mean, Jack's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Blade of the Ruin King is in there. He's already working up towards that Trinity Force as well. And when he gets involved in these fights, Gambit have to be real careful.
You say that, but he could still easily be popped by Alex once Alex gets going. That DFG in there, he's built yet more ability power. As you would expect, he's going to get stacked out. I'm not too sure whether he will be the focus target, but he's going to be the man that jumps in at the start. They're looking to try and engage here. They've caught Achie out now. He's going to have to try and run away from this one. Does manage to distance away from Achie, jumping on towards this one. Darien's teleporting. He has cancelled it in the top lane. Starting to realize his mid laner may need a little bit of help.
Yeah, but this is LeBlanc, you know, you can chase all day. Actually, Ghost used there by Achie. Achie gonna dodge out towards that brush, and Achie does dive in there. Actually, the Ignite goes down as well. He's surely gonna go down. There is the kill coming in, but that mid lane is gonna go down now.
Yeah, they knew there was gonna be a trouble. You already saw Gambit. They quickly clustered for that mid lane turret. They knew that Achie was already dead, and they quickly countered it, got in there. They're gonna stay. You can see the scrying orb being used. The no blue buff up, so they didn't manage to get onto that one. But Gambit at least picking an objective up of simply losing Achie. TPA are going Baron. 22 minutes in. This is dangerous play because Gambit have not backed. And you can see the mid lane. Diamond is still around there. Morning wants to try and harass Diamond because they realize they can't go for it. Darien comes in. The culling being used out there. Jay taking a hell of a lot of damage. He was tanking out the Baron. They're just going to jump on them. The crescendo from Edward locks them all up. Achie got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He's in the Baron pit. He's got no flash. He finally jumps to his teammate DinTer running for his life. They were lucky to only lose 2 people from that one because Gambit caught them with their pants down in the Baron pit.
And actually, Morning's going in here. He's gone on towards Diamond. Deathmark used. Achie did get away very, very close to going down, but for me, that was a strange decision from TPA. I'm not sure that they really wanted to fight it anyway. A good crescendo from Edward, and that's really what Gambit are relying on here. If a good crescendo comes in, and we are going to see Alex going on towards morning. He tries to juke him out, but you can't juke that LeBlanc. Following basically right back to where LeBlanc started. 11-5 Gambit, 4,000 gold, almost, okay, it's 4,500 gold. Maths, again, never my strong point, but Gambit, they're looking good here. And again, I have to say, I feel like a broken record somewhat, but this is day 2 Gambit, looking so much better than yesterday.
And I wonder how much TPA have been in this position. I'm thinking back to Frog, and we got Frog in here right now. And I'm wondering, we talked to Alliance, when Alliance went 0-4 in Super Week, and he said, we've never been put in this situation in a match, because scrims don't go this way. GPL does not go this way for TPA. They're 10-0 up. They've dominated that league. They've never been in a position, and once those moves, those calls are made, it's quickly, you know, that was clearly a quick decision call. We're going to do Baron. It backfired horribly, and it could have gone even worse. It may well have already snowballed out of control for them. That's only a 5,000 goal difference. Not too bad yet with the Jacks still in your team, but you've got to wonder when the last time was they've been in these pressure situations in international competition.
Oh, this is bad news as well for DinTer. Actually, the Q not landing, puts his ultimate down. Deathmark coming in on towards Alex Hitch. The Diamond does get the kill there, and actually Alex Hitch did. It's a 2-for-1, still worth for Gambit.
Counter kill, but they're leaving that top lane open again, and you can see Achie is up there. He's going to take that inner turret down. Gambit are trying to take everything they can. Blue Buff's going to go, they're going to get the dragon, but they're losing themselves an inner turret, and by the most methodical sound of the game, Jax beating a turret.
Sounds like some kind of techno track there going in the end.
Could put a bit of drum and bass.
A bit of drum and bass up in the top lane. Inner turret goes down. Good pick up there for Achie on Jax, but all well and good. He's taken himself a couple of turrets now in that top lane, but he needs to get involved into these fights. We do see there that the blue buff is stolen away, actually going over to Bebe on Sivir there in the end, who now has his Blade of the Ruin King and Last Whisper. Compare that over to the other side. Genja got Infinity Edge first here with Lucian and building up towards that Blade of the Ruin King as well.
So let's take stock and see where things are. As expected, obviously Sunfire Cave's being stacked out by both Diamond and Darien. They want to get some armor in there as well as the hit points. You can see those giant belts being stacked in there. Ruby Sidestone will be picked up by Edward very soon, and see whether he trades in that Spell Thief's Edge for anything else. He has gone for a Giant's Belt of his own. I wonder if that's going to maybe build into a Rylas. You never know with Edward. You never know where he's going to go with these builds. But up against a full-on armor team, not surprised he's going to try and get some hit points in there. Warden's Mail just been picked up by Darien as well, so Randy and Zoma will be coming out soon.
Yeah, going towards those Randuins, and basically you're going to need it against this team that TPA have assembled themselves. We're 26 minutes in here, 13-6 in kills, a 5,000 gold lead as well for Gambit. So they've got a solid lead on things. They've survived their ropey early game where we saw yesterday, the last time that these two teams meet, that if Gambit don't survive that early game, it can be curtains for them, although WE beat them in the early game, and maybe Gambit have done some good work overnight, had a good talk about things, and it's incredible actually what a good night of sleep can do for a team.
And I know a lot of us obviously saw yesterday's game, saw how much of an incredible stomp it was, but you need to look at the picks and how it worked, the picks and bans, and it was an early team pick for TPA against a very late team pick for Gambit. And simply put, if they didn't win the lane phase or didn't hold even in lane phase, they were never going to win that game. You know, unless for some reason TPA made a catastrophic error. As it was, Morning knew exactly how to snowball that situation. It's something that they've done so many times in their own league. This is a problem. Achie getting a little overconfident, and he's actually going to get bled into this one. Achie's in trouble. He's going to go down. Genja should pick up the kill here. They don't want to give it across to Darien. It will be Genja that takes it.
Yeah, that's just trying to play the Jax in a split push position and getting caught out, quite frankly. Like, you can't really afford that to happen. We see that Genja now is up to 4-0-6. Blade of the Ruin King is in there, so Jax, if his leap strike's not available to him, if he doesn't get far enough away, he is gonna be going down in that scenario. Does have Ghost, but with a Blade of the Ruin King, you're not really gonna be able to escape if you use the Ghost anyway.
He's got no armor, he's got no tank, he's just built, he's gone for the Trinity Force, and that's it. I mean, he is a glass cannon effectively on that champion, and right now they need something to basically get in the way of the Gambit Juggernaut, because sooner or later they're going to be steaming through them, tanking up them turrets, and other than going all in, maybe a Leona may be the one that's going to go tank. He has built the face of the mountain. That's about the only strong item they have to stop him, and of course the Hex Drinker is going to help out against Alex Tix. But other than that, Genja, who is building a lot of damage now, is going to start shredding every single one from range.
Now you see Darien just dodging everything that Morning throws in. Rest of Gambit starting to close in. Actually, Bebe having to go on towards Diamonds in this mid lane, and actually Gambit have rotated around. Oh, Crescendo going to be completely whipped there, but it doesn't matter. They push in. DinTer is there as well. They're going on towards Diamond. He falls very low, tries to dodge away. Turret takes him down. Edward is surely going to die in here as well. This is a lot of kills coming in for TPA, but can they get more? Darien is low. Flash out there from Jay. Can they follow through? Genja's off to the side, but I'm not sure that he can save anything. DinTer trying his best to keep up here with Darien. He's going to finally get the kill. That's bad for Gambit, 4 for 1, and we can see that TPA moving up. Are they going to go for Baron a little bit low? Last time it didn't work out for them, they're going to recall.
No, they went diving too heavily onto Bebe there. That just did not work out for them. Genja was kind of out of position. I feel if it had been maybe in amongst them, either he would have been focused hard or he could have cleaned up. You could see he thought about it for a moment. It's like, should I come around the back of them? Should I make this move? They could all turn on me, and you can see it. They went so heavily onto Bebe here, but again, Crescendo completely missing, didn't catch anyone, and actually the spell shield was up by Bebe. And then Diamond, well, he's too deep. The rest of his team trying to counter, so Edward really created a problem for his team from the very beginning, and Genja was just very well focused out. Jay just kept him at bay. Jay actually had a weird flash there as well. Tried to get him towards Darien. Darien caught out, simply chased down by an Evelyn. And Genja, again, kind of out of position, but you've got to wonder, merely, a little bit too over-aggressive from Edward. And when the Crescendo misses, you know you're in trouble. They should immediately be backing out.
Exactly. They should have backed straight out as soon as that Crescendo missed. And it was always going to miss because Bebe had his spell shield ready and available. Even if it would have been in the right place, wouldn't have affected Bebe. He would have walked away from it anyway. That was the point where they backed off, or should have backed off. Didn't actually do it in the end. And that's going to cost Gambit here. There's still 5k gold in the lead, but TPA, they're very decisive, and they still have to worry about this Jax. He's got a chain vest in there, expecting him to go in towards that Guardian Angel now, and basically once that is in there, you've got your 3 items as Jax. You've got your Trinity Force, you've got your Blade of the Ruin King, you've got the second chance of that GA, along with the armor and the magic resist as well. And for me, that's a scary, scary thought, because even if Alex goes on towards Jax, with the GA, he's going to get back up once again and still be doing damage in the team.
Where is Eddie investing this gold right now? They don't need a Ruby Sidestone apparently. He's clearly heading to the Ryder's Crystal Scepter. And he's actually got distortion boots as well on his Iona bits. He's clearly planning on doing a lot of flash crescendos in this game, I think. You never really know with Eddie, that's the thing. He always keeps you guessing, as do the rest of Gambit. I swear to God, they're playing like some sort of game at the start of every match. Let's roll the dice, let's see what we come up with a build, and see how it works out for us.
The thing is, generally, when they do something weird, it somehow seems to...
Well, a Zephyr second item for Genja was questioned by a lot of people, a lot of professionals watching in the European and North American scene, and they're a little unsure in it. You heard Diamond sort of chuckle to himself. He's like, you know, I trust my AD carry. He can do what he wants.
When he builds 5 Doran's blades at the start of the game just to get things going. Right now, though, Gambit are still having a solid lead over this game. Genja continues to farm things up, although you have to give credit to Bebe on this one. Behind in kills and assists, but still hanging in there in terms of the CS as well. And, you know, we always have to factor in the face of the mountain. Is Diamond getting a little bit caught out here, though? Cullen is going to force TPA to back away from that one. 42 CS. It's interesting because with that Relic Shield start, you'd expect Jay to have a lot more CS than Edward at this point, but actually Edward is pretty much matching him on CS. You know, that's Edward, I guess.
That's Eddie. He manages to keep it in there. Ooh, they're getting pushing pressure on towards his turret. Genja with his static shift on Lucian. Not a normal item you would see, but he's continuing to keep the pressure on that tower, and Gambit are sieging. They're going back to what they did last time around. They went a little overkill, and they've got to be careful of Achie. You see Achie off at the side there. He wants to jump in. He wants to come in at the side, them catch them all with that stun. They'll try and lock up as many as they can, but instead, they're leaving that tower open, and that's going down to Gambit.
Yep, nice pick up there by Gambit. TPA knowing that they can't really stand in the blank, especially that the culling just forces them away every single time, and the risk of Edward moving forward, putting down that crescendo for them then to get in there. Alex to burst one of them down, and that will be tower number 4 for Gambit. Funnily enough, TPA do have 4 towers of their own at this point. Not doing a bad job whatsoever. We see that Achie is going to head down towards this bottom lane as well and get back into that split push role that TPA seem to be commanding of him, really. He did get caught out down there the last time. TPA now moving down middle. Gambit are somewhat split here. See a couple of them recalling. They're going to try and hold on to this inner bottom turret.
Yeah, they need to get down there and defend it, but at the moment, nobody's going to be close enough. Archie's going to do a heck of a lot of damage, but he will back away. He's just going to let the minions do it. There is the Ryler's Crystal Scepter completed by Edward. He's going to get the slow procs. That's what he needs. He's going to be using that Q, spamming it out and slowing down the team. And it's actually not a bad idea. When they've got the Sivir in there on the hunt, they've got the Solar Flare to help engage or disengage. It's not a bad idea to try and slow them down, but I wouldn't recommend it to every support out there.
120 AP Eddie's got right now. And we've seen him with more in the LCS. I remember the Annie that was...
Has he also got the Draven wards? I think he has.
Yeah, just ridiculous amounts. Like, you can never fully predict where Edward is going to go in terms of... But that's very much a Gambit thing as well. Genja, I don't know if he really knows where he's going most of the time. He just kind of opens the shop and closes his eyes and double clicks somewhere to see what he's going to buy today. But right now we see more wards, deeper wards coming down from Gambit. They're going to be stealing themselves a red buff.
Face of the mountain now being built by Darien. This is interesting. Maybe he feels he needs that extra help. Who knows? Diamond's getting caught out by Morning. They're going to jump on. The counter-strike does land, but he realizes he's on the wrong stage, and Archie's going to run for a life. He's got the Guardian Angels, but it's going to be needed. Morning gets taken down. There's the Guardian Angel prop. Jay's going to get caught out. The Culling doing all the damage. Archie just jumps to him, but jumps to his death. It's going to be another kill. They're chasing on towards DinTer. DinTer's running for his life, but they can turn and go straight for Baron or run up the mid.
I think straight for Baron here is the plan from Gambit. I mean, we've got DinTer still available, Bebe as well. They can, Bebe at least can put down some damage from range, but there's no way that they can really, honestly, do anything about this Baron now. Losing a very, very big fight. Again, we saw Achie trying to get in there, but not really having the effect that you need to have in a team fight there. As Jack's Baron, first one of the game, going over to Gambit, leaves them 62 to 52,000 gold in the lead. A 10k gold lead. Gambit well and truly on their way to victory at this point.
I'm still baffled by that Face of the Mountain build from Darien, but you know what? Well, I shouldn't really be guessing what Darien builds, honestly. He's just going to build whatever he pleases.
I stand by my real... It's actually a fact, I think, that they just go to the shop, close their eyes, and double-click somewhere.
Just click a button.
Oh, I got Face of the Mountain in this game, guys. No worries.
Roll. This looks like a good idea. I'll build it. Maybe he wants the extra gold income. That's what he wants. Get those support items, which... actually is giving him good gold income right now.
89 gold he's earned from that Targon's Brace so far.
We'll see how it develops as the game goes on. So, Gambit pushing up that mid lane. Jack's off in the top lane. He has to react here because Gambit is just going to push straight on and tank out this turret. The inhibitor turret is not going to be a worry. You can see Diamond tanking it out to begin with. They're going to counter it. They don't even matter. There's only 3 of them there. Alex and Edward hadn't even got close enough. 3 members of Gambit just tanked out that turret and took it down, no problem.
Can't do anything here. We see Bebe there getting focused on Darien, going a little bit deep from this on. Deathmark goes down, but we can see that Gambit just too strong for them here. We see DinTer actually going down. Achie going to get caught up there inside of the crescendo. Did get a kill before he went, but Darien was already low, and that leaves just 3 men alive here for TPA. Gambit are going to try and finish up the game.
That could well be game for Gambit. And honestly, they're not going to follow on through in this one. They could turn it around if Bebe comes out a little bit more like that. You can see the damage that Genja has now. They still have that Baron up, but they are going to play it safe. They're going to play it wise. They don't want to go a little bit too ham. They're going to just back away on this one. Or they could try and catch someone out.
And I have to catch well, 5 of them out at this point, I think is the real worry from this one. Gambit now over 10,000 gold in the lead. We saw their Darien going down, but it's kind of his role. Get in there, do the dirty work, tank everything up, and the rest of the team can follow on after that one. We saw the crescendo used just on one man, but it's worth it. Taking down Jax when you've got a head-to-head fight as a team is worth it to take Jax out of the equation. We see the Genja here, Guardian Angel on now on top of his Blade of the Ruin King, Infinity Edge, and Static Shift. Takes out that inner turret on the bottom lane, all on his own. Alex was waiting off to the side just in case anyone came to challenge him. And Gambit continue to sail forward.
Well, Guardian Angel has now been completed by Genja. Face the Mountain has been completed by Darien. And Tiamat was also finished off by Diamond. And they're looking strong, there's no doubt about it. Looks like Zonya's Hourglass is going to get picked up by Edward as well. He's heading towards that one, going to get himself the full caster support that he likes to do. And I'm just not sure what TPA can do about stopping this one. It seems that they have run out of ideas. They have all gun glass cannon, and there is no squishy target for them to find, because every time they go in, they face either a full-on combo from Alexich or a crescendo and get locked up.
Yeah, that's the real problem that they have is a crescendo. If you come too far forward, Gambit are just going to stop you in your tracks. Like, there's not much you can do. Even if Jax dives in there, the crescendo misses, they've still got Diamond just to kick him straight out there as well. So I don't see really what TPA can do aside from catching out people a couple of times. But even at this stage of the game, I think that might be too far. Gambit are almost rolling over them at this point. We're going to see the death mark coming out there. And was it the death mark? No, he just dove off to his shadow. Not really doing anything either way.
Trying to DinTer look and see if he can create something. They really wanted to land the solar flare there, but it's not going to happen. Instead, he gets caught out and poked down. And you know, we're starting to get to that time where we're looking at MVPs for the tournament. And holy moly, Alex has just destroyed the support. DinTer's going to go aggressive. Crescendo being used on DinTer. DinTer is the tankiest member, but you can see the Cullen landed. The stun comes in. He goes down. This is Gambit's game. And I was just about to talk about MVP performances. You can't look past Genja right now. He's had an amazing morning. Meanwhile, morning, he's had a dreadful morning. Didn't want to go
I
that
didn't
way.
really understand what you just said. There was a lot of mornings in there.
It's a bad morning for TPA.
It's a bad morning for morning, and the rest of TPA, there's no doubt about that one, because we are going to see here, baby, there's the ultimate from Darien, getting a little bit too aggressive, maybe. Has to start backing away. Morning down to less than half HP. Genja does have his Guardian Angel pop there, but he's straight back up, going to get topped off by Edward.
That was Darien using the face of the mountain, by the way, trying to save his AD carry, which he technically did. The Guardian Angel ended up being the final saving grace. They didn't finish the game off here, Gambit, which they're kind of dilly-dallying a little bit. They've got 2 minutes until the Baron is up, but I think they're feeling confident. It's a 7-0-10 Genja. He went pretty similar in the last game. I don't recall him dying in the last match. He has played an amazing first 2 games, and we could well be facing Gambit versus KT Bullets, and another Korean team against Gambit. That is a great possibility, and it looks like we may well have 2 fantastic semi-finals on our hands.
And that's the good thing here, because this is Korean slaying territory for Gambit.
Yeah.
Last year, let's not forget, Azuba Frost, Azuba Blaze, as they were right back then, they beat them both on the run through those semi-finals and the grand final to become the champions here at Intel Extreme Masters Katowice last year. This year there's a little bit more on line. World Championships here, and Gambit, despite that awful performance yesterday where they never really got rolling, have definitely turned things around, looking like a different team again today.
Yeah, they have a giant task ahead of them. They've got to finish this game off first, though. And at the moment, it's a 15,000 gold advantage. Big advantage for Gambit. They're all backing off. They're going to spend some more gold. We'll see where it goes. It looks like a Trinity Force is maybe coming out for Darien next. Of course, why not? You know, he might well get some damage now. He does actually change his trinket as well. Went to a sweeping lens, so making sure they keep and remove full vision away. Baron up in 30 seconds. I expect that's going to be the final hoorah for TPA. They're going to try and make a play at it.
20 seconds until that comes. Yeah, they've got to. I mean, they can basically throw everything that they've got at this one, because they have to get some kills. And now we are 42 minutes into this game. It's a pretty long one, considering how well Gambit have done things. We can see Diamond there continuing his pressure. Absolutely fantastic presence in the early game. The weak stage of Gambit's overall plan, I think we can safely say. In the end, Gambit actually back there. Genja's down on the bottom lane. Baron is up. Genja wants more farm.
There's farm to be had.
Yeah, there's farm to be had. 343, actually behind babies at this point. We see, well, a lot of people are actually over 300 right now. Is Jay going to get burst by Alexic? Not quite burst down. Baby. Yeah, panic, exactly. Presses are just to get them out of there. Don't think they really needed that one. Darien's actually just going to force them completely away from that Baron area.
Yeah, that was a talisman and on the hunt being used by Bebe. That was complete panic mode. The burst onto Jay made them literally wet the bed and run for their lives. Zephyr has now been completed by Genja, and the Gambit are going for the Baron. Deadly move or not, Achie's going to get caught out. There's the burst that we were talking about. Alex is taken very low, but the culling ripping across them. Sonya's Hourglass was completed by Edward. Achie is just going to get dropped down. His Guardian Angels was back. They do manage to get themselves a kill. It was Genja they finally shut down there. They may try and turn this one on his back, but it's not going to happen because Alex gets himself a triple kill. JB in lockdown, slowed down. He's in trouble. He's not going to be able to escape this one. Diamond comes in, finishes him with a blow to the head.
I expect Gambit to just push through and win this game right now. We are 44 minutes in. We can see 50-second spawn timers across the board here for TPA. And the push is coming straight up this mid lane. That inhibitor has respawned. Minions are there with them as well, so they should be able to push through this one. And we are surely going to be seeing Gambit Gaming move through in towards that semi-final. First Nexus turret goes down. The Nexus going to fall. And Gambit again do it here on day 2. The business is all about day 2 for them. They almost get a kill at the end on the fountain onto DinTer. And you saw the relief there on Alex Tinch's face. Groove at the back. Slight nod of the head. The belt did its work last night. Gambit are looking brilliant today.
This is a Gambit that loves to perform on this stage in Katowice.